What's up, everyone? I hope you're having a great Sunday here. It's 5 o'clock on the East Coast, and we're going to be breaking down one of my, I always say this, one of my favorite songs ever, but this song is, I listened to it, and it sounds like it did in 1973. I think that's the year it came out. It always sounds amazing. It's one of the best songs ever written. And it's really sophisticated tune. That's to me, that's a really interesting thing that that is, I want to say, lost in, or that this is really unique to this time period, the early 70s. Early to mid 70s, the song, and all the 70s, the songs were so sophisticated. The early 70s singer-songwriters songs, Seals and Crofts, Jim Croce, Harry Chapin, James Taylor, all of them, just brilliant. Paul Simon, you name it. There were just Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan, all this incredible music, Gordon Lightfoot, that all came out in that era. Just insanely great songs. Bread, the really sophisticated, just, I don't know, it's really hard to describe. I'm going to talk about Summer Breeze today, but I was actually listening to We May Never Pass This Way Again, another Seals and Crofts song that is insanely great. It's got one of the best pre-choruses ever. I'm going to devote some time on that song somewhere in the future. Just that pre-chorus is super brilliant. Got my songwriters course on sale through Christmas. It'd be a great gift. It's 50% off, $74. A lot of the stuff that we're going to do, I do these song breakdowns. All my What Makes a Song Great breakdowns are all related to my songwriters course. I actually have a chapter telling you that talks about how you can go back and use the 120 different song breakdowns plus the song breakdowns that I do here on weekends, because I pretty much always do song breakdowns on my live streams. My live streams are basically song breakdowns, but the music theory for songwriters course is for people that want to not only improve your songwriting skills by knowing some of the theory and then thinking outside the box, because I talk about how, all different types of songs. I talk about hit songs. I do a lot of analysis. There's one of the chapters I analyze 27 number one songs. But this song uses a lot of the theory that's in there. Like there's a lot of modal interchange or borrowed chords that we're going to hear in this song. I was just saying, talking to Aaron before this, that Louis Shelton, who produced the track, he was in Nashville, maybe it was 2 years ago or so, and was going to come down here, and for some reason I couldn't make it happen, who produced the song and played guitar on it. But I think he lives in Australia, but he'd be an amazing guest. And he anyhow, let's listen to the song. This also, not only has it got one of the best verses and choruses, it's got phenomenal lyrics. The bridge is amazing, and it has the best breakdown verse ever. Here we go from the top.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. Little light is shining through the window, lets me know everything's alright. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
to stop it through there because I want to talk about some unique things about this, about the intro and the verse and the chorus. These are the kind of chord charts that I write for these things. I found that instead of writing on the whiteboard, I like to write on the note paper here. The intro. What's interesting here? This E minor 7 to A minor 7. So we're in E minor we're in E minor in the intro, and we're in E major, kind of, in the verse. Okay, but something unique about this opening chord sequence here? It's just 2 chords, but it's really E minor 7 to A minor 7. So you have this in this E minor 7 chord. You have that. You can hear those open strings in there. That G chord there, it's got the E in there, but that's why it's an E minor 7. That's G to C really there, right? But you got... And then when it gets to the verse, it does this. And I talk about this in my songwriters course. By the way, people are really digging the songwriters course, if I do say so myself. I've gotten a lot of emails from people about it. This has a series of plagal cadences, kind of like Hey Joe, kind of like, exactly like Pearl Jam Alive in the chorus, but E, then it's got G, D, A. So G, D, A, E are what I call a plagal chain, series of plagal chain cadences. But we're going really from this A minor 7 to E major. So the 4 chord... It's like this is you're having da, da, da. That lift there. I call that an upward modulation because it lifts up. You got that open G chord, and that open G chord, the open G chord, the open G string when it lifts from that. Listen to that. Da, da. See the curtains hanging through the window in the evening on a Friday night. He's going in the melody. That's modal interchange or a borrowed chord. You're borrowing it. If you're in E major, that chord is obviously not in the key, which is why he has to remove that G sharp. And to have those kind of mixed sounds there that have those half-step resolutions, it just makes it so interesting for the listener, right? Plus the fact, if you look at it, this is really unusual. It's got a 4-bar intro, but it's got a 3-bar verse, right? See the curtains hanging on the sidewalk, or hanging through the window in the evening on a Friday night. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Friday night. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does it actually do 2-bar? Is it a extra 2-bar? Hold on 1 second.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night.
Yeah, 3-bar
Little
verse.
light is shining through the window.
Weird, right?
Lets me know everything's alright.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So the second time around, it goes E. I shouldn't have my double bar there because it does a full bar of E. E, G, D, A, E. So second time around, it goes to a full measure of E, and then it goes to the chorus. The chorus goes to A minor 7 to B minor 7. B minor 7 makes me feel fine. G7. C over G. Let me count this here.
Shining through the window lets me know everything's alright.
everybody still there? Have I lost anyone? I see the stream. My internet looked like it cut out for a second.
Blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
Okay, so this, so the chorus here is this. This is really interesting. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine of my mind. Let me play it for you. It's really cool. And the sixth harmony that has on there with it's called an oblique harmony. It wasn't me. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. So like A minor 7, B minor 7, A minor 7, jasmine in my mind. It's really cool. This is really G7, C over G to G. Now, what do you notice here about the chorus? The chorus changes key. It goes from the key of E to the key of G, okay, which is a third related. It's a chromatic median modulation, which is one of the chapters of my new music theory for songwriters course. And I actually should have thought of this song because this has so many different modulations in it. This would have been a great song to analyze, but I'm doing it here. So now, why am I saying this is in G major? Because you can hear that this hits the tonic right here. Okay, G, then G7 to C over G. That's like a 5-1 cadence, and you're back to G. So it has some secondary dominance. It's really great, but it's the 2 chord to the 3 chord to the 2 chord to the 1 chord. 1 chord, 5 of 4 to 4 to 1. Okay, the G7 is 5 of 4, secondary dominant, to G, C over G to G. Now, the great thing about the chorus part is that harmony. Mine, and he goes like the low vocals on B and the high vocals there. So that's called oblique motion, when one note stays the same, the note G. Another song that uses oblique motion is If I Fell by the Beatles, where you have one static voice. Let's hear this again. This is oblique motion because it's really great. This is when you have a two-part harmony and one of the notes stays the same and the other note changes under it.
Blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
Right? He's going, mine, mine. And then you have the riff that goes against a beautiful. And I didn't talk about the intro riff too over this. That scale, that's what we call a hexatonic scale. That I use that for improvising all the time. Really great scale, and it's great on E minor. Love that scale. So that's the verse and the chorus.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
Bass is just staying on G there. Here we go. The E major again.
See the paper laying on the sidewalk, a little music from the house next door. So I walk on up to the doorstep, through the screen and across the floor. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
Okay.
Sweet days of
Somebody just said in the comments, hexatonic scale, question mark. Hexatonic scale is a 6-note scale. The E, this hexatonic in E, if you say it's an E here, 1, 2, it's 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7. Leaves out the 6. Or you could do it in the key of G. G major hexatonic would be G, A, B, so it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great scale. I use it for minor chords. Eric Johnson, a lot of people use that. Really great for improvising. Continue on the bridge.
summer, the jasmine's in bloom.
Okay, so the bridge starts out with the intro chords again. So here we go.
Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom.
To A minor.
July is dressed up and playing her tune, and I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there while I can't in the world. See the smile waiting in the kitchen, food cooking and the plates for two. Feel the arms that reach out to hold me in the evening when the day is through.
All right, let's talk about that bridge here. So the bridge goes back to the intro chords. So it's E minor 7 to A minor 7. The first part, it's like it's a two-part bridge, really. So it's like E minor 7, A minor 7. It's like Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. Okay. Days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up. And playing her tune. Her tune. And I come home. It's so when I say D11 on the second half of the build part of the bridge, it's really C over D. I'm going to put D11. I'm going to put in parentheses C over D, and then to E11, which is really D over E. Confusing. Then D11 to A over B, which is B11. B11, which is A over B. So this is the bridge right here. Take a screenshot of this. Let me hold it steady. I'm gonna play the track and I'm gonna show you as it goes along here. What? Check this out.
The jasmine in my mind.
Okay, here we go. Bridge.
Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and
one extra
playing
bar.
her
Sorry about that.
tune.
And then
And I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there.
Oh.
While I can't in the world.
Okay, so I got extra bars in here. Let's do this. We'll do it this way. E11, B11. This is how we'll do it here. And then I got one extra bar here. Do it like this, 2 times. 2x. Okay, this is better. It's corrected. So it does this chord progression twice, right? And then it goes D11, E11, D11, E11, B11. Let's check it out one more time. Sorry to make that mistake.
Makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
There's the bridge.
Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and playing her tune.
Second half.
And I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there. I
Love this right here.
in the world. See the smile waiting in the kitchen, food cooking in the plates for two.
Why is that so great? All those sus chords there. Sharing the world. First of all, you hear that D sharp. That's not heard. You're not hearing that note at all anywhere until there. Da, 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 da. And then it just resolves perfectly with a 5. With a 5-1. It's interesting though, this B11 chord, when I say it's a 5-1, it's like functioning like a B7, but it doesn't sound like a B7. It really sounds like a plagal cadence, but it's a 4-1. But you have the 4, A major, with a 5 in the bass. Da, da. It's a really kind of acts. But it doesn't sound like a plagal cadence. It sounds like a 5. It sounds like a 5-1 cadence to the ear. Let's see.
And playing her tune.
Check it out.
And I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there. I care in the world. See the smile waiting in the kitchen, food cooking in the plates for two.
Okay, one other thing here, because this is incredibly important, is the harmony parts in here. Check this out. Right here.
See the smile waiting in the kitchen, food cooking in the plates for two. Feel the
Check that out. The harmony parts. Those are the two parts that they're singing there. That's amazing over that. Let's
playing her tune, and I see the smile waiting in the kitchen, food cooking in the plates for two. Feel the arms that reach out to hold me in the evening when the day is through. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
So let me talk about a couple things here with the song. So you have all these kind of all these really sophisticated techniques that are in here. This is very professional songwriting, and a lot of this stuff I talk about in my new course, my music theory for songwriters. If I think about this, what are some of the terms that I used in here? Like modal interchange. That's a fancy word. Change. I call borrowed chords, really. They borrow them from like the parallel minor key. Borrowed chords. I have a whole chapter on borrowed chords. That's what I mean. Like when you've got when you're in E major and you have an A minor 7, right? Well, that A minor 7, that's a 4. This is 1, and this is a 4 minor 7 chord there. Really unusual. You hear that G sharp, the E major chord has the notes E, G sharp, B. The A minor chord has A, C, E, G natural. You see this? You're trading out that G sharp for the G natural. at the end of the verse, at the end of the intro, and then at the end of the verse when it goes E to A minor 7, and it goes back in. And then you've got this chromatic mediant modulation. It's just third related modulation. It sounds fancy, but chromatic mediant. The mediant chord is the 3 chord. It's just third related. Chromatic mediant. Oh man, I can't write today. Chromatic mediant modulation, which means third related. That would be from E major to the chorus, which is in G major. Now, some of you might be like, which is a minor third interval. And some of you are like, well, it's not really that because it's going from E major to A minor 7 at the beginning of the chorus, right? But you're really going to the key of G here, because this is the key of G right here. This is the 2 chord, 2 minor 7, the 3 minor 7, and this is the 2 minor 7. This is the 1. Okay, so I talk a lot about this in the course where I do breakdowns like this. How do you take chords from the from a parallel key? Because the verse actually does this too. When it's the verse actually changes key too, because you're going E major to G major, G, D, A, right? And you're losing sharps and flats. You have those 4-1 cadences. G to D is a plagal cadence. D to A is a plagal cadence. A to E is a plagal cadence. A plagal cadence is a 4-1 cadence, okay? John asks, what is a plagal cadence? It's a 4-1 cadence. That's funny that you just asked that. That's great. I didn't see that. A plagal cadence is a 4-1 cadence. I'm going to write that down. But I call it a plagal cadence. I love this stuff. I love it when I can find a song that does all these different things. This is just one of those songs that kind of checks all those boxes. Plagal cadence. So you got E, G, D, A, E again. Okay. So E to G, that's a minor third. This is a so if you're an E, that's 1. But here's where your plagal cadences are. This is 4 to 1 in D major. This is 4 to 1. So this 1 chord acts as a 4 chord again. 4 to 1 in A major, and this is a 4 to 1 in E major. That's a plagal chain. It's very common in rock music. Okay? If you think of like, Hey Joe, right? Hey Joe, where you going with that gun in your hand? Right? Same chords. Or Alive by Pearl Jam. It's in a million songs. The Beatles use it. Everybody uses these. I call them plagal chains because it's a series of plagal cadences next to each other. It's very, very powerful to use. And they're really melodic. Plagal cadences are used a lot in gospel music. When I interviewed Keith Jarrett, who's one of the greatest living musicians, one of my favorite musicians, one of the greatest of the 20th century, Keith Jarrett, we talked about plagal cadences, these 4-1 cadences and stuff that they're hymn-like. You know, this is where this comes from. You find it in hymns, but it's used in I find it with a lot of Midwestern songwriters, I guess, or people like Pat Metheny or Charlie Hayden, jazz musicians that incorporate, I want to say country. It's not really country. It's really more folk music elements in it. And, you know, there's, I'm trying to think. There's one other, there's a lot of songs. I'm trying to think of some more songs that have these plagal chains, these series of plagal cadences. It's funny though that they all use C, G, D, A. I guess because they're common guitar chords that you would have those things like that. There's a lot of songs that will use those, right? So I just love the sound of them. To me, it's a great thing to use to write melodies with. Anyhow, so that's it for today. That's Summer Breeze. One of the greatest songs ever written. One of the best arrangements. Absolutely brilliant. The bridge modulation when it goes D sus to E sus or D11 to E11, D11, E11, B11. World. I mean, it's just amazing. And I just love the E major to A minor 7. God, it's so good. You guys are incredible. This is the most fun I've had in a long time on here. I've always wanted to break this down. I kept thinking, like, why have I never broken this song down? I actually included this song on one of my lists of, I forget what list it was on. It was one of them, and I did like a little, I think it was with my buddy Jason singing, and I had Rhett and Dave Honorato in here. One of those videos, like greatest, I don't know what it was. One of my top 20 list videos or something. I'll put it in the comments section, after. Yeah, this is a really special song. It's a song that I never get sick of. It always gives me chills. It's amazing. You guys are incredible. Have a great rest of your weekend. Take care. We'll see you.